Hey friends, how are we? If you're watching the replay, go ahead and say #replay. And let me know where you're tuning in from. I really love to just see where you are in this beautiful earth, whether it's stateside or not stateside. And it's beautiful here. It's sunny. It's kind of chilly. But I don't really know necessarily why I am sharing this, but it has been on my heart for weeks. And so I'm just going to trust that there is a reason, and I'm going to be obedient by sharing it. So this has nothing to do with doTERRA or MetaPower or Kaneo or anything that I am loud about on this platform. It actually is something that I guarantee you never knew. So, as you see, I am wearing this sweatshirt called Blessed. And I actually bought the sweatshirt because I just love the way it felt. I love the way it felt. But last time I wore this sweatshirt was Friday, March 11th of this year. And you're thinking, why does she know that? And it probably was the last time it was cold. And maybe that's true. But the reason why I know that is because that Friday, I woke up and I was doing something that was never on my radar when I moved to Georgia. I was headed to the OBGYN office to hear a heartbeat. And while it wasn't a heartbeat that was in my own body, it was a heartbeat that we were fully prepared to take home upon arrival. So when I landed, or my family, trekked across the nation and landed in Georgia, about 10 days later, I was sitting across the table from somebody, and out of the blue, she literally looked at me and said, "Do you happen to know anybody who would want to adopt a baby?" And I'm literally looking at her thinking, you realize we just moved here. We know nobody. And so I asked her, and I said, well, tell me why you're asking me if I know anybody who wants to adopt a baby. And so she talks to me about this mother, and she's a young mother, and she's keeping the baby, but as in she's not aborting the baby, but she's not going to keep the baby, and she needs a family. And she starts describing it, the baby, and the mom, and the circumstance, and everything that was going on. And I'm literally going to get emotional. This was not how it was supposed to go. I was not supposed to get emotional. So here's what's interesting. When I was growing up, I always said I would have 4 kids and I would adopt my 5th. And she was going to be a baby girl, and I already knew her name. And her name means God's gift. And what's also funny is as a child, I always said I would have twins. Now, my twins growing up were girls, and their names were Stacy and Tracy. Obviously, I had twins, but they were not twin girls, and they are not Stacy and Tracy. So as I'm getting ready to go to this appointment with the birth mom and hear the heartbeat of the baby, and we have already set the ball in motion. We have done all the things. We have hired a lawyer. We have got the house inspection ready. We've bought a crib. We've bought a mattress. We've done all the things to take home this sweet little baby. And I hear the heartbeat, and I'm like, oh my goodness, am I really going to do this again? And it was March 11th. And baby was due in April, and I always wanted an April baby. What's interesting is 3 out of my 4 kids were due in April, and I have 0 April babies. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm adopting my 5th. It's a girl. I always knew I would adopt my 5th, and it was a girl. It was a beautiful biracial. The mom was African American. She was beautiful. And I've just always been, you can take this for what it is, but ask my mom. Growing up, I had a black baby on my wall, and I always said, I'm going to have one of those beautiful, beautiful babies. They've just always been so gorgeous to me. And my brother always joked with me, and especially after I married Nordstrom, who is definitely not black, and he said, good luck having a black baby now, right? And so here I am, and I'm just listening to this heartbeat of this baby girl, and I'm fully ready to become her mom. And I get to know the birth mom, and the birth mom and I have a beautiful relationship, and we communicate, and I make sure she has the best prenatal supplements. I make sure I hook her up, right? I hooked her up with the best doTERRA, vitamins, and Terrazyme, and probiotics, and everything, so that she was having the best, so baby could have the best. And so we keep communicating and all the things, and come to find out, birth mom, decides to keep the baby. And she said, it's made me realize that I can do this and I want to keep the baby. And so, of course, you kind of have this like weird in between where you're like, wow, I just did all these things to prep for a baby, but oh my goodness, it was totally in the Lord's hands of whatever he wants, however he wants us to pan out. And so, again, I don't know necessarily why I have been just on my mind and on my heart to share this. Maybe it is because you know somebody who has an unexpected pregnancy and you need to privately share this so that they will choose to keep the baby, because there are plenty of adoptive parents who are willing, right? And maybe it's because you, like myself, are pro-life and you value life. And so you want to put your money where your mouth is. Meaning, I will step up to the plate and say, if I can offer a safe and incredible home for a baby so that they can have life, then I will choose to do that. Maybe it's because one of you is listening and you need to realize how your words impact everything you say. I've already told you a couple things, right, about growing up and the different words that I spoke over my life. You can speak life into your situation, or you can speak death and curses all over it. And so I remember the very last time I wore this sweatshirt. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional, because honestly, the fact that the mom realized that she could step up and be mom to her baby girl is amazing. It's amazing. But it also maybe calls us up to a place that says, let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's support the causes that really are, they're really life-changing. They really matter. Maybe I'm emotional because I haven't talked about it. I don't really talk about much unless it's happened. I don't really talk about too many things that are just kind of in my private life, in the sense of just like dream. I don't know. Maybe I do talk about that, but I feel like this was a really close, intimate time, and so opening up about it feels really vulnerable. It feels really vulnerable. So I don't know. I don't know why I have literally been pressed to for weeks now. And so you know how you're supposed to share something and you don't, until you do, things just, I don't want to say they're put on hold, but I knew I was supposed to share. So if this message was for you, or maybe it's for somebody that you know, maybe you can privately share it with them. Maybe you can give them some encouragement. Maybe you're encouraged. Again, your words have power. Your dreams really mean something. And even speaking as a small... Apparently it wants me to be done. Anyways, so I'll end this because now I had to, get out of my car and do all the things. But anyways, maybe this was for you. Maybe it was for somebody you know. Maybe it was just me being obedient. Maybe it was, I don't know, getting me out of my box and sharing something that felt vulnerable. I don't know. Maybe I'll know one day. Maybe I won't. But I hope you speak life over your situations today. I hope you dream big. I hope you write down those dreams. And I hope you realize that there are people out there